So let's talk postpartum recovery. And I don't mean recovery in the sense of emotional, mental, physical, but I mean simply using the bathroom. Using the bathroom, being postpartum, was something that I was not prepared for and that nobody tells you about. I've had both a hospital birth and a home birth, and even though both experiences were very different, the postpartum bathroom phase you basically prepare for in the same way. And I learned real quickly that I was unprepared my first birth. Although I was in the hospital, I got hospital grade pads, which weren't that great. And I got a small container of Tux hemorrhoid wipes. And that is kind of it, besides the also the hospital peri bottle, which the peri bottle is just a squeeze bottle. There's no little loop, as you can see here. So that makes it a lot harder for that water to get where it needs to go. That is why I prepared a lot better for my home birth, being it my second birth. I learned that it's about having a system that actually supports your body while it heals. It's not simply to keep blood from getting everywhere. Over time, through trial and error, through two kids, and seeing other people's experiences, I made a kit for my sister. She was having her first baby and she didn't know what to expect postpartum in the bathroom. So I made her a postpartum bathroom essentials kit. And this is everything that I actually use and why it works. But first, what is happening to your body after you have a baby? After birth, your body goes through something called lochia. I am not a doctor, so I honestly don't know if I'm saying that right. But this is just the postpartum bleeding. However, it's not just blood. There's a lot of other things that come out with it. It can include leftover uterine lining, mucus, and small clots as your uterus shrinks back down. And I will say that the clots I was not expecting when I gave birth the first time. And your doctor or midwife will tell you what's concerning and what's not when it comes to those clots. Your uterus is literally contracting and returning to its pre pregnancy size, which is insane because it's like back to, anyways. At the same time, whether you had tearing, whether you had tearing, stitches, or hemorrhoids, or all three, the whole perineal area is going to be inflamed and swollen and tender. So, postpartum recovery in the bathroom really comes down to four things: controlling bleeding, reducing swelling, managing pain, and staying clean without irritation. Everything in my kit fits into one of those categories at least. Here's my system when it comes to the postpartum care. If you need a basket, you need something that can be easily transported, especially if you have multiple bathrooms. And if I were someone with multiple bathrooms, I would honestly have multiple baskets. But I don't. I have one bathroom that I share with my family of 5. So you can imagine when I have my home birth and I am taking up the bathroom, it is hard. Okay, but back on track, keep everything in a simple basket. Make sure it's in the bathroom, make sure it's easily accessible. You'll honestly be in the bathroom a lot. And the reason I say keep everything in a basket close to you is because when you're up in the middle of the night and you're tired, you're sore, you're healing, you don't want to go looking for things. You want it right there. Time is of the essence, and you don't want to spend all your time in the bathroom. Everything being in one place reduces stress and really helps manage the ability to recover. So when you're in this bleeding phase, here's what you're going to need. In the beginning, I use adult diapers. Yes, I mean, we're adults. We don't want to use diapers, but it will save you a lot of mess, to be honest. And it's usually just the first 1 to 3 days. The bleeding is much heavier than people expect, especially those first few days, especially with those clots. I noticed that when I was freshly postpartum, any sort of movement or cough or sneeze um, anything like that, just blood would come out, gushing out. And so I would wear a diaper because it would catch everything. There would be no leakage. I don't want to spend my time having to clean myself up, clean up leaks, do more laundry than I have to. So get the diapers, just do it. And you'll go through a lot of diapers. Something that my sister did because of the diapers and the pads and the tucks and the wipes and everything you have to use, it turns into a lot of trash, and those little trash bins that you typically use, like the little waste baskets you typically use in a bathroom, they fill up really, really fast. Like 1 or 2 diapers, it's full. So my sister put a full-size trash can in her bathroom and you still fill that up like every day. And so I suggest getting a bigger trash bag or putting in like a kitchen size trash can. After diapers, I transitioned to postpartum underwear and really big fat pads. I typically wouldn't get myself postpartum underwear, and I didn't with my first baby. I just wore like normal underwear so the pads would fit nicely, whatever. But I was gifted these postpartum underwear by Bodily, and I will add a link to the Bodily postpartum underwear in my description. Those have saved me because they are meant to compress around your postpartum belly, but they're really soft, they're really comfortable. They help with healing, they're super absorbent. I have 3 pairs and I definitely will invest in more. And I will wear them when I'm pregnant too because they just like grow with you and they shrink with you. I always pair the underwear with the extra long overnight pads, by the way, and I get these in bulk from Sam's Club. I'm sure they have them at Costco too because I mean, you go through a lot of diapers, you go through a lot of pads. There's a lot of things that need to exit the body. Here's a essential that I absolutely love and use quite often even when I'm not postpartum, and that is witch hazel. It is one of the most important components of my entire kit. Witch hazel contains natural astringents, so that helps tighten tissue and reduce swelling. It's also very natural. I love it. I use it all the time, even after like shaving. That really helps to just reduce all that inflammation there and redness. What I love to use that witch hazel for is I take the big old fat pad, I spray it down with the witch hazel and put that in the freezer. Instead of getting the perennial ice packs, I just use a witch hazel soap pad. It's kind of like a 2-for-1. You got the coldness to help with the swelling and inflammation. You also have the witch hazel, which is also helping reduce swelling and inflammation. Cold therapy works because of something called vasoconstriction, which means your blood vessels tighten, reducing swelling and pain. This is the same principle used in hospitals when they use ice packs. I also like to layer on my pads the Tux medicated hemorrhoid wipes, more witch hazel spray, and I just reapply if things dry out. It sounds like a lot, but postpartum discomfort isn't just one thing. It's swelling, irritation, and sensitivity all happening at once. And if you think about it, you're not only healing and recovering, but you're taking care of a newborn baby. So a peri bottle, this is very important. It's a very strategic tool and simple, but very needed. Instead of wiping, you gently rinse with water after using the bathroom. This matters because urine can sting healing tissue. Wiping causes friction on tears and stitches, and rinsing things keeps it all clean without irritation. This is standard hospital postpartum care for a reason. I also suggest making sure it's lukewarm water because if it's too hot, obviously you know why that causes problems, and if it's too cold, it's super uncomfortable. The peri bottle can be a little tricky if you want lukewarm water because you kind of have to plan ahead. Either you fill it up before you go to the bathroom, or if you can reach your sink, fill it up during. I suggest if you have a partner at home, just ask them to do it. Okay, so pain and stitch care. If you are one of those very lucky people that doesn't tear, you are so lucky. Like, you are blessed. With my first baby, I tore just up and down, a slight, like, first degree tear, a couple stitches, and it was over. But with my second baby, I had a second degree tear that went sideways, like inward. That one was extremely painful, and I opted out of stitches being at home. So, yeah. Then you have my sister who tore in 4 places with her first baby. That's where the dermoplast spray comes in handy. It contains a local anesthetic, which temporarily blocks pain signals. What I noticed, wow. What I noticed most was it helped with burning, soreness when moving, and just general irritation during healing. It's not a cure, but it gives a lot of relief there in that area. So those Tux pads not only help with hemorrhoids, but they just help in general everywhere. So I will use those for the whole area. They reduce swelling and irritation, but what really made a difference for me was layering all of those things together. I talked about, having Tux, witch hazel. You can even have the dermoplast spray, and there is a perennial witch hazel spray foam as well that I will put on there, um, on a pad, and just stick it on. Now everything down there works together. And this works because with postpartum pain, it's multifactual, meaning it has multiple causes happening at once. So instead of treating one problem, you're supporting your body from multiple angles. In part of the healing routine, I also included the Dr. Teal's Restorative Minerals Epsom salts. I personally haven't really used Epsom salts because I hate baths, but I figured it would be a good idea to get for my sister because I love Dr. Teal's, and I'll probably use them when I give birth to my third baby, which is coming soon. My sister has not been able to use Epsom salts though. However, due to the 4 stitches and due to the 4 tears she has and those stitches, her doctors advise her not to take baths quite yet. This specific restorative Epsom salt, though, by Dr. Teal's, it has magnesium, which helps ease muscle aches and soreness. It also has potassium and zinc to help keep skin revitalized and healthy. There's also lemon and eucalyptus essential oils, and that just helps relax the mind. I also included Dr. Teal's restorative magnesium body wash because I received body wash as a gift when I had my second child, and I don't know why, but I loved that for some reason. Just reminded me to take care of myself. And my number one goal as a postpartum mom is to take a shower every single day, just to help morale, stay clean and hygienic, and to stick to my typical routine of showering every morning. So I actually use that same body wash, the Dr. Teal's magnesium body wash, and it is my absolute favorite. I feel like it does make a difference, and I do feel restored and ready for the day, basically. I'm not affiliate of Dr. Teal's, but I wish I were. Something else I included in the kit for my sister were these nursing pads that are hot and cold. And I knew that she was going to try nursing her baby. So I included that for her because I know how painful it is to breastfeed and to nurse. And she's been such a trooper getting it done, feeding her baby. And that's something that I just didn't do and went formula and bottle. So proud of her for doing that. And hopefully those help So there you have it. Those are my postpartum bathroom essentials that I make sure that I always have. And I've realized I've loved making those kits for first-time moms because it's something that nobody prepares you for. So I ended up asking my sister to share what was helpful for her in that kit, and just kind of a testimony of what she thought about it and liked and disliked about it. So keep watching. Here we go.
As a new mom, my favorite gift I got for my baby shower was my postpartum basket that I got from my older sister. Because as a new mom, I don't know what to expect. So I used everything in this basket and I loved it. So my favorite thing first were these Tux medicated cooling pads. Life-saving. Instant relief. This is a relief foam that you can put on your pad too. Favorite combo, these two. Love them. This you don't spray on the pad, but just directly in the area that got traumatized. Use this. Instant relief. Helps the burning, pain, discomfort. So I use this a lot. This you'll use every time. It's genius. Great gift. Easy. These are the Instant Ice Maxi Pads. I didn't use these too often, but when I did, they were great. They were just a little too thick for my liking. Something that I bought for myself were just some like extra maxi pads like this, and then liners for when things aren't as bad down there. The last thing that I loved, this Dr. Teal's combo. It helps with soreness and eases pains and aches and helps relax the mind, which you need when you're postpartum. And then lastly, I don't have any more. They're not in my basket, but I love the disposable underwear that I got. They were stretchy. They're like boy shorts. They're able to fit like maxi pads, ice packs, easy to slip on and off. And so, yeah, this is the postpartum gift that I highly recommend for anyone.
And you don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work for you. The core needs of those essentials essentially is controlling the bleeding, pain relief, and comfort. At the end of the day, this kit isn't going to do everything perfectly, but it's about making those first few weeks of postpartum recovery a lot more manageable and easier, less overwhelming when your body is doing a lot of healing and it just went through something super intense. Every mom's experience is different, especially those sweet C-section mamas. They're not going to have a need for a lot of these things in that kit, but they're going to need a lot more loving around their belly area. So to wrap up, if you are a recovering postpartum mother, or you're getting there, or you have a friend or a partner that is about to be in that postpartum stage, really consider some of these essentials to gift to them or to get yourself. And if that was helpful, you can subscribe to my channel at Modern American Mama. I would really appreciate it.